We are underway. Kathy Malik gives the 5-second board. The red lights go on. When they go off, we go racing. Revs are up. Enjoy it.
Absolutely brilliant start by the Volvos, the all-wheel drive going out into the front straightaway, but James Sofronis, having none of it, takes the lead, get it into the keyhole.
Wow, did you see Skeen and that Krager wheels light the tires up, and Pilgrim just swept around the outside up into second. Now Popes down underneath Skeen. Skeen slips back into the 4 spot, and that bright yellow Carlisle Companies Krager wheels vet, the 2 Volvos from K-Pax Racing in front. But look right now, a huge move already as Skeen just drops the hammer on that big V8, Tom, and around the outside right back into third.
I can't remember somebody driving around the outside on the way down into madness, but Skeen obviously has the power and exerts it over the Volvos. Now 2 to go for Skeen to get to the front.
Meanwhile, we hop on board with Nick Isayan in the GTS battle, and that's Ernie Jakubowski in that beautiful Porsche Cayman S down underneath the sand. That picks up second in the GTS class, and then you can see that brace of those beautiful Ford Mustangs right behind. Then back in the field now, we pick up some of the action in the touring car division as well. We told you, folks, at the top, one race, 3 different winners battling throughout, Tom.
And inevitably, it's going to mean traffic for the leaders. And as we see these 3 classes mixed together, that's what makes this sports car wars.
Wars indeed it is, and we are seeing some great battling at the front. Sofronis about to complete a lap here at Mid-Ohio. You can see things settling just a little bit for this group, certainly. There they go. Oh, and this is the 08, Jeff Mosing, who is, as I said, a major player in the Mazda ladder system, just having a bit of a moment as we hop on board with a very quick young Mike Skeen. Look at this move, Tom.
Once again, Mike Skeen uses that Corvette power to get up alongside of Andy Pilgrim, and Andy Pilgrim just a little too canny to let him through in the keyhole, but he's a threat there, certainly has a power advantage over the Volvos.
Because of Mosing's off over in that gravel trap on the outside of Madness, we have a full course caution in the relatively early going here at Mid-Ohio, and here we go. Pace car on track, Sofronis swinging around. Tom, let's see what happened to Jeff.
Well, Jeff just drops a couple of wheels and gets into the proverbial tank slapper, and that takes him into the sand pit. Once you're down there, all the drivers do the same thing. First gear, roll the tires, reverse, roll the tires, and he's stuck.
We are close to going back to green. Again, Jeff Mosing had that beautiful Mazda in the gravel trap. It is cleared. We are green, and James Sofronis in that beautiful Global Motorsports Group Porsche leads him up. Take a look here. Randy Popes looking to the inside down into turn 1 to maybe do something to get around that very quick yellow Corvette of Mike Skeen. Didn't happen, and Skeen now gets that great run. He's going to take a look down the inside of Pilgrim into the keyhole. He's alongside Andy Pilgrim, a pro. Knew he had been had right there, just had no defense for it. Didn't close the door. It's early in the race. He let Skeen through. That's the sign of a pro. And as you can see already, Sofronis is coming up on some traffic, and Popes has slipped backwards a little bit. Tom, looks like he may have a bit of a problem. Here comes Lindsay now. Got a great run, but smartly Pilgrim's going to try and trap him out the outside. Used Holland as a pick. Lindsay says, no, you gave me enough room. We're going to give it a try. Lindsay sideways. Makes the save. That gives him the inside at the top of the S's. Still can't do it. All-wheel drive grip. Pilgrim thinks about a dive move to the inside, but Lindsay has enough to shut the door. Still offline just a little bit, Tom. Back into that Porsche sliding around, but Lindsay just grinning ear to ear as he's just throwing that Porsche through these turns.
That's a classic sports car wars pass.
Oh, and here's the 75, one of those beautiful Mustangs, Brad Adams in the RP Motorsports entry, Tom.
Wow, Brad Adams on his way up the hill has that back end step out, and just a little lift is all it takes for it to go all the way around. He was lucky to get away with that.
It's one of the things I've often said about Mid-Ohio is all of those elevation changes, many of them happen at just the wrong part of the track, technically in terms of the physics, and it's so easy to have that happen. Oh, it's Sofronis balked in traffic, and look at Mike Skeen. He got a great run. Now he squeezes Sofronis, trying to get down to the inside into the keyhole, and he gets it done. Tell you what, this young man has a much mature head on his shoulders in terms of racecraft than his experience in these cars. What a job in traffic. Meanwhile, there is the look for Skeen in his mirror. It's still that blue, the different shades of blue and white hood of that Global Motorsports Group Porsche. When he looks in those mirrors and again comes up on traffic, it's this time, it's his time to lead through traffic. Boy, did he time that beautifully.
Once again, there's some maturity that's being shown by Michael Skeen. This isn't luck, folks. You have to see this, watch it happen, and then take advantage of it.
And that was the battle for the touring car lead that they were driving through. Ryan Eversley at the outside right there in that Mazda. That, of course, his debut. It's the Maxwell Paper Products Mazda. And Dino Crescentini gets caught behind those two. He makes the pop to the inside. And as a result, it looked as though Eversley might take advantage and make that move as well. He is there.
Jason Saney defending as they go side by side. Here's a look from Kuno Widmer's car. How are they going to decide this? Eversley inside, Jason Saney outside. Nowhere for Kuno Widmer to go. Has to be patient. Looking down the inside again. But now Jason Saney says, I appreciate what you're doing there, Kuno. I'm running my own race. A little bit sideways for Eversley. This is Sports Car Wars.
And Saney, as you can see, he got caught up and got forced offline, got those tires in the gravel when Widmer went through, and that allowed Eversley to make the drive. And Saney still trying to recover, get back online, getting freight trained by all these GT cars. That just parks you offline. Your momentum wanes, and everybody goes streaming by, and suddenly the guy that you were in front of, Ryan Eversley, now has 6-7 car lengths, and Eversley throwing the car around. Those right tires into the dirt. Jason Daskelos wide through as well. This is multi-class racing. Basically, you are either trying to figure a way through traffic or preparing to get overwhelmed. Here are the three classes. Skiing, overall, GT, Peter Cunningham GTS, and touring cars, Ryan Eversley. Look at this. Sofronis is now caught back up to the back of Skiing. Again, traffic giveth, and it taketh away. Sofronis deep on those stop tech brakes down to the inside. Skiing says, no, I've got grip around the outside here. Oh, man, a piece of paper was all that was separating those cars. Skiing, little sideways in the bed. Sofronis thinking about straight lining, and Skiing going, I'm coming in.
That's why for the last 15 years, I've been addicted to World Challenge. Different marks, competing on the same track. That is as close as it gets without contact. Both of these drivers showing a lot of respect towards each other, and a very, very big moment in these sports car wars.
And of course, that side-by-side racing, as we've got the number 91 of Ernie Jakubowski. He's got a problem. Rear tires buried in the gravel in that Fuchs CDOC and Forgeline Porsche Cayman S.
When I tell you, they all do it. They all drive first gear and reverse, as we see Ernie Jakubowski carrying just a little bit too much speed into that corner and pays with his rear tires bogged down.
And as a result, for the second time today here at Mid-Ohio, we have a full course caution. That's going to bunch the field up. We've got an interesting restart when it happens. Meanwhile, here are the current podium finishers in the three classes after 20 of a scheduled 29 laps. Kuno Widmer coming up to take a run on Dino Crescentini. Couldn't quite get it done, but you can see that's one of the magic things here. We've got the all-wheel drive Volvos. We've got the Porsches. So quick and so good under braking with that engine over the drive wheels. You got a V10 in the Viper that has nothing but pure grunt, the V8s and the Vets. Every car has a strong point somewhere on the track, and the ultimate mix, the SCCA officials, when a lap is done, it's so close.
That's the beauty of World Challenge Racing. Trouble for Don Gardner as he's sideways on the racetrack at a very inopportune time. You can see him sliding over that road, gathers it up, and you see Nick Widmer throwing on the binders just a little bit and avoiding that thing. Don Gardner's race has probably gone to pot right there, and now he looks like he's backed up and he's parked it.
Yeah, Don Gardner couldn't keep it on the expressway.
A Toronto reference, I get it. Now we're getting close to the checkered flag as Michael Skeen just corners away from distinguishing himself as a first-timer with a win. As we mentioned before, that hasn't happened for a long time. I think that Nick Short has found someone very special, to the frustration of the rest of the field.
Yeah.
There goes Michael Skeen.
And for James Sofronis, his focus no longer is at trying to race Skeen. It's trying to hang on to second from a very quick Patrick Lindsay in that Horton Sloan Securities True Speed, the third of the three True Speed team cars, and he is hunting down maybe a second spot, looking at a potential podium here at this stage. Skeen, unless he makes a mistake, he's got it. I mean, it's close, but right now I think Sofronis has a little bit more of an eye toward that mirror than he does to that rear wing of that yellow Vet.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Both of these guys know they're not going to catch the yellow Corvette from Krager Wheels. And now that race is between two Porsches, so evenly matched and so exciting to watch these two guys work out on each other.
It is, and obviously two different teams that have come together, both of them racing Porsches and making it very close. But right now the story is this, gentlemen. fastest right out of the box in a couple of the sessions, a great qualifying run, and here is going to swing onto the front straight. And I'll tell you what, a very impressive drive. Nick Short knew something when he said, let's put this kid in the car, and he has brought home in his first ever World Challenge race a win in one of the most competitive of classes. Here's some multi-class action for you. There's Ryan Eversley in that number 20 Mazda on his way to the win in the touring car category. Right behind him is Petey Cunningham, going to bring home the win in the GTS division, and then the rest of the field streams through multi-class racing, and these two guys just ended up close on the track at about the same time, and that was great to see. But again, Ryan Eversley, first time in a World Challenge event, he brings it home as well.
Very, very happy man. Mike Skeen leads Sofronis and Lindsay. Kuno Whitmer comes in fourth, and Dino Crescentini always there in fifth place.
Then let's take a look at your winner in the GTS division. Peter Cunningham finishing 14th overall. And then Nick Assayas and Devin Cates. Great run by Cates in that Mustang to podium in his first event for those cars. And then, of course, you saw Eversley with the win in the touring car division in his debut. This has been a pretty impressive start to their World Challenge careers for a couple of drivers.